And I'm back. Hey guys, how's it going? Did anybody miss me? Huh. I see. I see some people up there. Some people. I mean, I've got now over 100 subs. You know, compared to what I had last year. So, there's a little bit of noise now, so I hear. But anyways, I am back from my absence, and what is my first podvid in a long time? It is a podvid, or maybe video or podvid version, you know, of my Blizzard audio-only podvid. But don't worry everybody, if you just came to listen to this instead, then I got you covered. There's a link for you down in the description box below if you just want to hear this recording and not watch in a podvid format. But anyways, enough about my absence and more about the main topic. The topic of why Blizzard in the here and now is dead to me. The year 2018, Blizzard held its annual BlizzCon in the USA, BlizzCon 2018, and after they revealed Warcraft 3 Reforged and Diablo Immortal, the, I think, representatives decided to hold a Q&A. And after a couple of questions, someone who goes by the handle Lord Fluffy on YouTube stepped forward and asked a question. He asked, I see a lot of mechanics that we've kind of been begging for in Diablo 3 in this. Is there any plans to make this playable on PC? Or is this a strictly mobile forever? And the game designer replies back with, are there any? Yeah, the current plan is to be on mobile, both Android and iOS. We don't have any plans at the moment to do PC. And then the crowd start booing. And the game designer makes a frowny face, and then he says to the crowd loudly, Do you guys not have phones? And then the other members of Blizzard tries to back up the game designer, and they were all like, can play on your tablet too, I think he said. And you know, it wasn't just Lord Fluffy that asked such a question. There was another guy that's been dubbed on the internet Red Shirt Guy 2.0, and he asked if Diablo Immortal was an out-of-season April Fool's joke. And people applauded him. Another Blizzard developer stepped forward and said, no, it's a fully fledged Diablo experience on mobile. Now that little piece of reenactment aside, in my opinion, BlizzCon 2018 was, in my opinion, Blizzard's greatest BlizzCon failure in the history of ever. But whatever people said at BlizzCon 2018 aside, one of the core problems of that presentation is, in my opinion, is that the average age range of that large crowd was not teenage zoomers. No. The average age range of that crowd were millennials. And most millennials game on PC and console. Now, I am a millennial myself, and I am not trying to sound like a representative or something. No, I can't speak for other people's opinions and viewpoints, I can only speak for myself. And as for me, nowadays, I game on PC, primarily. So I don't know what kind of a reaction Blizzard expected when they announced a game that has primarily been for PC. Sometimes Diablo will be on consoles sometimes, but Diablo is primarily a PC game. And now all of a sudden, they wanna put it on smartphones? Of all the opportunities. And Blizzard had the audacity to announce it for the wrong crowd. To millennials. So, why now? Or rather, then in 2018 I should say. Why did Blizzard announce a mobile game back then? Why didn't they announce it for PC instead? When Blizzard themselves don't even have an extensive history with mobile gaming. Now, I know Blizzard got Hearthstone and all, but that's something that Blizzard, I thought, you know, they only did on the side. Thing, whatever. But you know, I think I have an idea as to why I think they, all of a sudden, out of the blue, wanted to develop a Diablo mobile game, I think. And I like to emphasize this is just my personal opinion, what I think. I think Blizzard wanted to get a new wave of gamers and fans in their midst, and especially Zoomers. I think Blizzard knows, in a way, that their already established fanbase mostly consists of millennials. And Blizzard seemingly knows that they're not gonna make much money by appealing to their already established millennial fanbase all year round. And since some of those millennial fans have now grown up, gotten jobs, and are now raising a family of their own, Blizzard, it seems, wanna fill in those empty holes with Zoomers, I think. Now, I myself am someone who's been a fan of Blizzard since I was a preteen in the early 2000s. And I think my first exposure to Blizzard was Diablo 2. And then sometime later, thanks to the influences of my older brother, I became a fan of Warcraft 3, Reign of Chaos, and then Frozen Throne. And then, in my teens, I became a fan of World of Warcraft, especially a fan during the Burning Crusade era. I quit WoW for a bit, and then I went back to WoW during the Wrath of the Lich King era. And then I quit again in late 2009, or maybe it was early 2010 maybe. But nevertheless, I never picked up World of Warcraft since then. So, as far as I can remember, I have no memories of Blizzard ever developing games for portable systems, except for Hearthstone, which they developed later on in the mid-2010s, I think. But even though I don't play much Blizzard games anymore, I try to keep up with the latest news and trends, but I can't keep up all the time and be that active with Blizzard, because I am more of a Steam guy nowadays. Sometimes I do reinstall my physical copy of Diablo 2 and Lord of Destruction to do a monthly Halloween run, but lately I turn to other games instead, like Enderal, Torchlight 1 and 2, Salty Sanctuary, Path of Exile, Dark Souls Remastered, Neo 1 and 2, Hades, Condemned Criminal Origins, and the Painkiller games and what have you. So yeah, I haven't touched much World of Warcraft since the Wrath era, and same for Warcraft 3, and I haven't kept up with the news like I used to, and since I don't feel like playing much World of Warcraft or Blizzard games anymore, the only Blizzard related thing that I can try to do without subscribing monthly is to read their lore books of their games. You know, I am planning to buy Warcraft and Diablo related lore books because I always wanted to, since I was a young adult, to read their lore books. I always wanted to. And now that we live in an era where importing and exporting foreign goods has become more and more accessible than before, I can finally order books abroad at long last. When I was younger, in the 2000s, there was no way to order abroad. If you wanted a book in English, then you had to physically travel to the UK or US if you wanted your book in English, or if you wanted to read a book that hasn't been localized in Sweden yet or translated, because some books around the world don't ever get translated, ever, not all the time. But since I'm somebody who speaks very good English, as you may have realized, now I can finally order them abroad. But you know, I know there are smartphone apps out there like Google Play and what have you, where you can buy them just like that and that's it, problem solved. No need to wait for a package, whatever. And smartphones nowadays also has, you know, the blue light filter where you don't strain your eyes so much anymore. But yeah, I would much prefer to have the physical thing in my hand instead of reading a book in my smart app. I know some people prefer comic books and books in their smartphones, and I respect those people. No problems. But as for me, I would like to have the book, in my hand, physically. But anyways, Diablo Immortal did eventually get a PC port, and it is one of Blizzard's most best-selling, infamous game. Let me reiterate that one more time. Diablo Immortal is Blizzard's best-selling bad game ever. It is very much universally agreed upon that Diablo Immortal is a bad game, they say. Because I haven't played Diablo Immortal myself, I'm just gathering information based on what people say. But it is not only a bad game, because the game sort of misses its mark by its not so polished gameplay and story, they say. No, when most people say Diablo Immortal is a bad game, what they mostly mean by that is that Diablo Immortal is really trying its best to nickel and dime its players with pay-to-win stuff. Now, I know some things that are considered bad can sometimes turn out to be a happy accident, sometimes, like the painting Behold the Monkey, aka Potato Jesus. But that's not the case with Diablo Immortal. No, I don't think so. I don't think Diablo Immortal can be a blessing in disguise, like Potato Jesus. No. Unless, of course, Blizzard decides to do away with all the pay-to-win mechanics and make it much closer to Diablo 3. As I am in the making of this podvid, in the month of June, and maybe soon July, maybe, Diablo Immortal makes a lot of money, even though people keep bashing it. From the way I see it, the game makes a lot of money because you know what they say, any kind of press is good press. And I don't like that saying. I don't like that's how it is. Why can't bad press be bad press and good press be good press? Like from Software's Elden Ring. Not to derail too much from, you know, Blizzard and Diablo Immortal, but From Software's Elden Ring is a best-selling, well-respected, highly regarded game, and for all the great reasons, and understandably so. Elden Ring's good press is good press. It is the best kind of press. And hey, Elden Ring doesn't need any of that horse armor DLC or pay-to-win mechanics to sell well or to make a good impression with its players and consumers. So why can't Diablo Immortal as well have a good kind of a press and sell well for all the right reasons, like Elden Ring? When it comes to Diablo Immortal's unreasonable practice, methods, and its loyal fans, ugh. I can never imagine this kind of mentality would work as well in the same way with the older generations, like boomers or Gen Xers. Like, let's say you bought a book, one of Blizzard's hardback cover of Sylvanas. You know, there was no Blizzard in the 1980s, but you know, let's play pretend for a little bit. A Gen Xer bought the hardback cover of Sylvanas for $40 or 40 euros, which is sort of around 400 Swedish crowns, sort of, and let's say you finished reading chapter 1, and at the last page it says, if you would like to read more, then give us $25, or 25 euros or 250 Swedish crowns, etc, etc. And imagine how many times you'd have to do this per chapter. That's a lot of money. Why can't you just have the book in its entirety for a reasonable price? And what I'm trying to say with all of this is, if this was a thing for Gen Xers or Boomers back in the 1970s or 1980s, then I am pretty sure that this kind of practice would never have been endorsed or take off. But for some reason, since it's the millennial/zoomer generation of gacha games and loot boxes, then for some reason, developers have made so much money like never before. I am a millennial myself that has gamed since the PlayStation 1 days. You know, Rayman, Crash Bandicoot, Tekken 3 and Spyro 2, and when I bought a game back then, I got the whole product. And I am so upset that in today's environment, with pay-to-win mechanics, the developers are either too greedy for their own good, or want to squeeze out even more money from their gamers with rubbish items like horse armor, or sometimes some companies seemingly can't make a profit without squeezing out a few extra bucks from their loyal consumers or loyal fans. I think all of this is very frustrating. Now, I've seen some players rally against Activision Blizzard's shady practice and frat boy culture and so, and yeah, I think Activision Blizzard deserves to be scrutinized because of how they treat their employees and player base, of course, but I am not saying it is justifiable for the players to conspire against Activision Blizzard or to boycott them or to, God forbid, physically attack their employees. No, I would never endorse that. In my personal opinion, I think being destructive is only going to make matters even worse. What I am trying to say is, if you, the player, including yours truly, wants to make a difference in this world of Warcraft and Activision Blizzard, then everyone has to do the right thing here, to speak with your wallets. That's where you can make a difference. You can't make a difference right after you bought that pay-to-win item and then complain about it afterwards you bought it. No, it doesn't work that way. You can't make a difference that way. The only way that I see this, that you can make a difference, is by not buying any rubbish pay-to-win items at all. Now I'm gonna soon ask a question and then stay silent for 5 seconds, because today's listeners/viewers, I'm curious to know if you guys are even aware about this, but my question to all of you is, how did Activision Blizzard or Blizzard get in this top position? If you answered because 3 guys decided to open up their own gaming studio, then you only got half the answer correct, only half. The other half to my question of how they got up in this top position is thanks to you guys. Thanks to its players and fan base that bought the first Warcraft game like crazy back in 1994. And then the players did the same thing again with Diablo in 1996. And then the players did it again with Warcraft 3 in 2002. And again with World of Warcraft in 2004, and on and on and on and on and on. Blizzard did not climb up the ranks for no reason. Blizzard doesn't have some kind of a magic money tree. No, they don't. Most of the time, the money that Activision Blizzard earns comes from us, the players, the consumers mostly. But just to let you all know, it's not just Blizzard that has all the power here. No, the other half that has the power over Blizzard, and especially over their finances, is the players. Naturally. The players can choose to not buy any Blizzard's pay-to-win stuff, and so if players came together and universally decided to not buy any of Blizzard's pay-to-win stuff, then Blizzard would just change their tune with their pay-to-win practice. This method of not buying any of that pay-to-win rubbish, in my opinion, is much more preferable than sending threats to them or be violent or boycotting them. I mean, all you have to do is stop buying Blizzard's pay-to-win stuff, watch and see in real time how their stocks slowly plummet, and that's it. And then Blizzard will change their minds with their pay-to-win practices. But anyways, I am almost going in a circle now, so what I am trying to say with all of this is Blizzard is not the only ones with the power here. No, you have the power here as well, today's listeners. Likewise, it isn't just Blizzard that is to blame for all of this. We the players, too, are also at fault. For enabling Blizzard. That's how it is, I'm afraid. I am upset that Blizzard took this anti-player route and, for the most part, is very much thinking about the money, it seems. And this is basically all that I have to say for today, I guess. So, thanks for tuning in, everybody. You all will hear from me again either next week or next month, maybe. So, bye-bye for now. Well, here we are. It's done now. And I just wanted to say, at last, finally this Blizzard PodVid, which I was meant to upload right before I get on my absence, has finally been completely finished. At last. But I failed to release it in time, because I ran out of time, unfortunately. So, instead, I uploaded the audio-only version in the meantime. But about the Blizzard PodVid, the one you're experiencing right now. What was initially meant to be a simple little PodVid took much longer than expected. So I am glad and happy that I am finally finished with it. Weeks later. And now I can finally move on to other projects. But anyways, everybody, thanks for tuning in, and bye bye for now.